Hi, this is Christina Dugan, and this screencast is a resource for tutors with PBA Ventures that demonstrates how to effectively use the calendar function in the TeachWorks management website. This screencast meets the AECT Standard 4.4 Information Management for the employees of PBA Ventures. This tutorial will demonstrate how to schedule and complete a session in TeachWorks, and also tutors will learn how to use other calendar functions like adding non-teaching appointments. Step 1. Go to www.pbaventures.teachworks.com and log in as you normally would. You'll see the dashboard homepage with your upcoming lessons and uncompleted lessons. The uncompleted lessons section is a great reminder when you log on to finalize and submit those lessons. Also, you'll see the options on the top navigation bar. Click on the calendar button and you'll see the available options. There are different ways to add a lesson to your calendar, like clicking on the Add Lesson button. That will bring you to the same scheduling page as going through the calendar. For today, we're going to start by clicking on the calendar since it's easier to plan out your weeks with a monthly view. Here, you add lessons by clicking on the day. I want to add a lesson for Friday, January 26th, so I'm going to double-click in that box. A pop-up message asks, "Would you like to add a lesson?" and then click OK. The Scheduling Lesson tab looks like this with information needed to schedule a tutoring session. First, select the student that you will be tutoring. For today's purposes, I'm using a test student for privacy reasons. I select Patrick Tester and automatically some of the fields have been filled in based on his profile. If needed, you can change the lesson title, the service, and location of the session by clicking on the drop-down menu. Maybe we normally meet at the Davidson Public Library, but for this session, we're going to meet at Summit Coffee. So click on the drop-down menu, type in your new location, and then select the location. More importantly is the start and end time for your session. These are set to 1-hour increments, and you can add more or less time if needed. Then you can click Submit if this is a single session that you would like to schedule, or if this is a repeating student, you can select Repeat and click on Starting Date, Friday the 26th. If you meet with a student one time a week, I'm going to select Weekly. We meet every week on Fridays, so I'm going to select Friday, and then I can choose when I want this repeating session to end. I'm going to click the last Friday of February so I can schedule it for a month. Then click Submit. Now you have scheduled a repeating session. If you are a tutor that meets with many students, maybe you want to check conflicts, but for this session, I only have one student on Friday, so I'm going to click Submit. Once you click Submit and add a lesson, you'll see it on your calendar. Then you'll know that you've successfully entered a session. Once you've met with a student and completed the tutoring session, there are two ways you can access the lesson to finalize it. One way is to click on the lesson from the calendar, or you can use the dashboard to view your uncompleted lessons. First, I'll show you from the calendar view since we're already here. Click on the lesson you wish to complete. The pop-up will give you a few options on the bottom here. Click the Complete button, which will bring you to the next page. Here, you will fill in all the necessary information and you can change the date and time if needed. The most important step here is to change the status of the lesson to attended. This is the part that most people forget, and you will not get paid unless the sessions are complete and marked as attended. If for some reason you missed or canceled a session, you can mark that as well. Then, in the Notes section, there are two parts, internal notes and shared notes. The notes entered here are shared with the students and/or parents. The notes entered in the internal notes can be for your own purposes or for Patrick's purposes. So, once you've submitted some information in your notes, I'm going to write test and test for today. Then, the last step is to click the Email the Shared Notes box so the parents of your students will receive the notes that you have written in here. Then you may click Submit or Submit in Next if you have other sessions that you have to complete. I'm going to click Submit for this session. Then you will see there's a check mark next to the student's name indicating that the session is now actually complete. Another way to complete a session is from the dashboard. When you log on, this is the screen you will see, and if you have any uncompleted lessons, they will appear on the right side of the screen under Uncompleted Lessons. Click on the student's name, and then follow the steps that I previously explained. Another function that is useful under the Calendar tab is the Add Other Events or Add Unavailability. Let's look at the Add Other Events. This is helpful when you're meeting with a family or student for the first time for a consultation session, or if you have a meeting with PBA or anything else listed here. Fill out the fields, then click the Submit button when you're done. Finally, the Add Unavailability tab is another way to keep organized and let PBA know that you'll be out of town or unavailable. Again, fill in the details and then click Submit. This tutorial demonstrated how to schedule and complete a session in TeachWorks, with an important part of the process being marking a session as attended. Also, we reviewed how to use other calendar functions like Add Unavailability and Add Other Events. Thank you for viewing this tutorial.